1 in 8 people in this country do something to earn their income that they enjoy. Is that not backwards? Shouldn't it be 7 out of 8 are doing something they enjoy? And the other 1 in 8 is just trying to figure out what it is that they enjoy? I mean, you can be going to college, or you can be looking to change your career and educating yourself, but until you actually get to the point where you're enjoying what you do, you're kind of wasting part of your life. You know that, thank God it's Friday, right? Well, you're wasting 5 days out of your week waiting for Friday to happen. Did you know that more heart attacks happen on Monday morning than the 6.5 weeks of the 6.5 days the rest of the week combined? Your heart would rather attack you than let you go back to the job you don't like? Isn't that a little crazy? And we're willing to put up with that in this country, the land of the free, the home of the brave. So where are the brave now, right? So be brave enough to stand up.
What if you don't know what it is that you want to do?
There's a really simple technique that I discovered. You make a list of 10 things that you want to do. Usually people can come up with 5. I like to cook, I like to be around people, I like being outside. So one lady came to me and she said, there's only maybe 2 things that I enjoy. And I said, what are they? She said, I love being around animals and I love being outside. Do you remember when Starbucks came to town? Susie was a barrister at Pete's and got laid off when Starbucks opened up across the street. $7 an hour job, and she just got fired. How demoralizing is that? So I said to Susie, okay, so what I want you to do is start a dog walking business. So she started the dog walking business. She calls me up 6 weeks later. She said, I can't walk all these dogs. And I said, cool. Hire high school students, give them half. Next thing you know, she has 5 teams walking dogs, making more money than she ever did pouring coffee, and all she's doing is connecting with the clients who are hiring her to make sure their dogs get walked every day. Because they're working in San Francisco and she lives in Concord. And by the time they leave in the morning at 6 and they come home at 7 o'clock at night, they don't feel like walking the dog. Isn't that cool? So she made enough money, and this is somebody who never made more than $7 an hour. A year and a half later, she had made enough money that she bought a property in Clayton, and she started her own dog kennel. She went around to the veterinarians and she offered to do dog training, and she'd taken courses so she knew what she was doing. So that constant education, that constant training. She makes $120,000 a year. She works less than 10 hours a week. Everyone has something that they're passionate about. I was speaking over here in Burlingame, used to be Penn something. So there's Experience Unlimited, there's ProNet, ProMatch, PennNet, I think is what it was in Burlingame. And so there's all these groups run by government programs. So in San Jose, they just moved from Campbell, it's called Work to Future, and that's a really solid group. And they have, on Friday mornings, they have people come in and speak to inspire, but they have all these great programs, how to learn to write resumes, how to get re-educated, how to improve your skills. And so there was this one man over in Burlingame, and I noticed he's just like all slouched over, and I usually ask, how many people have ever been laid off? More than once? More than 5 times? More than 6? 10? Oh my God, how many times have you been laid off?
I can't even count it, so many.
Oh my God, oh my God. So here's what I said, 20 times in 20 years this man gets laid off. And again, he's in IT, right? He's been in IT his whole life. And I said, all right, so what is it that you love to do? And he says, I don't have any skills that I'm good enough to make any money at other than IT. I said, well, there's gotta be something you enjoy doing. And he says, I love playing golf, but I'm not good enough to make money. I said, wait a minute. How many people have you ever worked with who have teenage sons that they would like to play golf with them? And father teaching the son golf is like a father teaching the son to drive, right? Can you imagine how frustrating it is? So he had an assignment, and in 1 week he called and he actually got 2 private lessons and 10 people to take a group lesson. Within 3 months, he had 3 groups and 6 private lessons every week. Now this is what was cool. He was able to go out and play golf at any course free. Isn't that cool? So about a year later, I said, I don't think you have enough people to have a tournament. So when I met Tom, he drove a 20-year-old car. He had lost his house. He had spent his children's education fund. He no longer had an IRA. His wife had divorced him. Right? A lot of negativity stuff. So that's why he was all hunched over. He had no self-confidence anymore. So a year and a half later, he has his first golf tournament. All the kids that he was coaching now brought their friends to play in the tournament. He got sponsors. 3 years after I met him, he met a woman. They fell madly in love. He had already replenished his children's education fund and had almost doubled his IRA compared to what he had had. Last summer, which would make it, I think, 8 years, I got a postcard from Tom. He was married. They now live in the Bahamas, and he plays golf anytime he wants. Now, it is that simple. But what happens is we get in our own way, right? We're the ones that set up limits. So if you make the list of 10 things that you know you like to do, and then ask people that you're around, co-workers, good friends, maybe not family, but sometimes family supportive. Leon's got a wonderful mother, great relationship with her sister, you know, and they'll say, well, yeah, but I see that you're really good at cooking. So this young man in Oakland, he said that he loved being a vegan. Absolutely loves being a vegan. He's making hand lotion, he's making shampoo, he's making soaps, but it keeps coming up that he loves being a vegan. So I started thinking about it, and I said, Charles, why don't you go out to the vegan restaurants? Ask 10 people to join you for dinner. Charge them $50 a piece and videotape it. And when you have a series of 13 videotapes, take it in and have it play on one of the Comcast channels. Isn't that cool? So that's what he's done. I have another person who's up in Richmond. I've been after him to actually create a cooking course because I swear to God, I have never seen a more functional family. 2 16-year-old twins, a 17-year-old brother, and a 2-year-old. I have never seen a family function as well as this couple and their 4 kids. And it all happens around the dinner table. So here comes the twins, right? They come in the house, and the first one walks up to the dad, gives him a hug. The dad kisses him on both cheeks, rubs his hair, and he says, I love you, son. Isn't that cool? The 17-year-old comes in, he goes up and he gives his dad a round the neck hug, pats him on the back. Dad says, I love you, son, and he kisses him. The other twin comes in, the dad says, what are you forgetting? And he laughs and he goes over and he gives him a hug and a kiss. And he says, I love you, son. Isn't that cool? So we sit down to dinner, the kids have set the table, and the dad says, what are you supposed to do, guys? They run upstairs, they comb their hair, they wash their hands, they put shoes on, then they sit at the table. Not bad. He doesn't have to yell at them. All right, it's all part of their training. The 17-year-old looks, he gets up, he goes to the kitchen, he makes 2 glasses of chocolate milk and he brings it out to his brothers. They said, thank you. Oh my God. Isn't that cool? I would love to have him do a series on why family dinners are so important in the communications. And then the dinner was, what happened at school today? That constant communication. Because people are so busy in their lives, and I think we really do our children a disservice where we keep them so busy, dance recital, sports, running here, running there. Kids are exhausted, right? And they're not brave enough to say, I just want to stop. Can't I just stay home? Nope, you got to take all these lessons. You got to do all these things. No, it doesn't make them a better person, but parents want their kids to be really well-rounded. It's understandable, but there should be limits, right? So what I did is I figured out a way to take the personalities. Tell me 2 things you're good at.
Problem solving and helping others with things they're having difficulty with.
Kind of the same thing, but you like working with people, so that's the second thing.
Somewhat, yeah, helping out, yes.
Right?
Right.
So, you know, there are people who like to help, and then there's people who like to be alone, right? When I was a left brain analytical, I wanted to be in the back room. I learned co